There they are. Hi.
Hi. Welcome to our Sculptra Webinar event. We are so excited to have all you guys here and to educate you more about Sculptra. We are part of the Piazza Center, as you know, and we strive for safety, excellence, and lifetime partnerships. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to give you this webinar on Sculptra and what it can do for you. We are focused on plastic surgery here at the Piazza Center and also advanced skincare. My name is Allison. If you haven't met me, Cothman, I'm a registered nurse. I practice with injectables, lasers, and the skincare consults. And then this is April.
Hey guys, I'm April Daniel. I'm the nurse practitioner here at the Piazza Center. I've been in practice for about 15 years. I do the aesthetic side of things. I also do injectables and lasers, and I also help see a bunch of our post-op patients. We're so glad that you can join us. I'm going to turn it over to Shanda. She is our Galderma rep, and Galderma is the maker of Sculptra.
Hi, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
We can.
Yay. I don't have a very exciting intro. I've just been with Galderma for about 7 years now. So Sculptra has been on the market for a very, very long time, since the early 2000s. It is just a phenomenal product. And I thought it would be easiest if we just threw in a really short, like 5-minute video just to give you guys a quick introduction. And then we will all hop back on and answer any questions you have. So I'm going to go ahead and go live with that if you guys are ready.
We're ready.
Ready.
Perfect.
Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura Murphy, and I'm the Senior Account Manager for Galderma Aesthetics here in the beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida territory. I'm really excited to be talking to you today about one of the products that I absolutely love the most in the Galderma injectable portfolio, which is Sculptra Aesthetic. As you can see, Galderma has a variety of injectables to treat your facial aging concerns, but today we're specifically going to focus on Sculptra. There really is something special about Sculptra Aesthetic. It really can activate the power of your skin. Sculptra Aesthetic was actually FDA approved for the cosmetic use in 2009, so it's not a new product, but it's certainly oftentimes the best kept secret. Sculptra Aesthetic is FDA approved to help gradually replace lost collagen, which is an underlying cause of facial aging, for results that can last over 2 years. Oftentimes, we see facial aging in between the nose and the mouth, or the nasolabial folds. Sometimes you'll hear people call those smile lines. And the lines framing your mouth, which are sometimes called marionette lines or even laugh lines, on your chin and in the area in front of your ear or the preauricular area. I think it's important for you to understand the facial aging process. Let's face it, there's a lot of products coming to the cosmetic market. And I think if you understand why things are changing on your face, it can really empower you to make the right choices for your facial aging concerns, as well as maybe help you to understand where your practitioner would recommend Sculptra Aesthetic for you. So let's take a look at what happens in that facial aging process now. So there's 3 main components that really contribute to that facial aging. And it might be different for everybody in terms of how fast this happens for you based on genetics and a number of other things, but it's going to happen to everybody. So the 3 things that are going to contribute to the wrinkles, the laxity, and the structural or architectural breakdown under your skin: bone loss. So we oftentimes hear about bone loss, and people worry about bone loss and are encouraged to take bone density tests or take medication. They get osteopenia or osteoporosis. But oftentimes what we don't realize is that same bone loss that's occurring in our body is also occurring in our face. And think about it, that bone is really part of the scaffolding that gives our face the volume that we have. The other factor is fat redistribution. So we talk about fat a lot. We want to gain it, we want to lose it. But one of the areas where fat looks really good is actually in your face. And unfortunately, it tends to be one of the first places that we lose it. Not only do we lose fat in our face as we start to age, but that fat gets redistributed or moves and can cause what we sometimes refer to as jowling or heaviness in the lower face. The last contributing factor on the screen we'll talk about is collagen breakdown. Collagen starts to break down. In fact, we lose 1% of our collagen every year after the age of 18. So now let's look at how Sculptra Aesthetic works and how it can address some of these key factors. So Sculptra Aesthetic is different than other products on the market, and it's going to stimulate your skin's own natural collagen. What is collagen? Collagen is a flexible, fibrous type of protein. It's actually already found throughout our bodies, including our bones, muscles, tendons, and then the middle or dermis layer of the skin. So the way that Sculptra works is in a series of sessions. So it is different, like I said, than maybe something else that you've done. When your practitioner injects Sculptra in your skin, your body is actually going to metabolize the PLLA or the Sculptra, and it metabolizes it by engulfing it in vast amounts of collagen. The Sculptra itself is metabolized into water and carbon dioxide, and it's out of your face in 6 months or less after your last injection section. The amazing thing is it leaves behind this vast network. And now let's look at what Sculptra was able to demonstrate in its clinical studies. Sculptra is the only polylactic acid injectable that's currently approved by the FDA to last more than 2 years. So the absolute longevity is there. And this can be a really big value. As you start to try and find things to address your facial aging concerns, it's really important that you find something that really gives you value and that has a result that can last over 25 months. You can see from the clinical study that even at 25 months, patients were still happy. In fact, 80% of patients were still happy with their results, and they rated the results good to excellent. This is just a fantastic longevity duration from Sculptra Aesthetic. The average number of treatment sessions is 3, and it's over the course of a few months. And again, that's something that your practitioner will specifically design a plan that's right for you, because let's face it, all of our faces are different and we have different needs. So now the fun part. Let's look at some before and after pictures. So we'll start with Alyssa. Alyssa was actually part of the original clinical studies, and so it's nice that we've been able to actually follow her all through her treatment, even after 2 birthdays. So you can see the picture we're looking at right now is her before picture. And then as you can see, 2 treatments, 3 treatments, and even her picture after 25 months, she really just has a totally volumized look, and it's incredible to see what she looks like even 2 years after her last injection session. Now let's move on to Hazel. Hazel's different picture because her picture is only showing us her results 16 weeks after her last treatment. And Hazel will probably continue to see results even longer than 16 weeks, and she may even potentially still be going in for another treatment session with her practitioner. But even after 16 weeks, you can see that she has a good result, and she is starting to feel some of that volume loss and some of that structural breakdown that we all experience from aging. And finally, we have Catherine. So we're going to look at Catherine's before and Catherine at 27 weeks later. So it's interesting to see that Catherine has a great result 27 weeks out. She is more volumized and she has more of the youthful structural look that she had when she was younger. So you can see that Sculptra Aesthetic is not just for any one particular patient type. Different patients are going to benefit from the product, and different patients are going to use different amounts. That's one of the things I love about Sculptra. It really is tailored treatment that can give you the goal that you're looking for in treating your facial aging concerns. We have a program that's called Aspire. It's a patient loyalty program where you can earn points for your Galderma treatments that you do. Please make sure you visit www.aspirerewards.com to see how you can get the most from your Aspire Galderma rewards. And feel free to talk to your practitioner or the office staff to help you get signed up. We also have an app, so it makes it very easy to sign up. I hope you enjoyed the presentation today. Please reach out to your practitioner, go in for a consult, and see if Sculptra Aesthetic can be a secret that you can start keeping. And now let me just make sure that we discuss some important safety information.
Okay, we're going to kind of just open up the floor, and if there's any specific questions you may have for us, we'd be happy to answer any of those for you. The video was really great. It goes into depth pretty well. But if there's any specific questions that you're wanting to ask, we'd be more than happy to answer those for you. I think one of the most common questions that we get as providers is how many vials a patient is going to need. I think the biggest thing for us is obviously we want to have you come in and do an assessment so we can be more specific on how many vials a person needs. I'd say the average is anywhere from 2 to 6 vials, depending on the severity of laxity and volume loss. But that's where it's really important, where we have you come in, and so we can take a peek at you and give you a more accurate, number. When you agree?
Yeah, April, I would definitely agree with that. A lot of it depends on your age, how fast you metabolize, how we also have to rely on the body to see how quickly the body is going to respond and start creating that collagen. The second most common question that we receive is, how far apart is each treatment? Because even if we recommend 2 to around 6 vials, they are going to be spread out in treatments.
Yeah, so I'd say, we typically inject kind of depending on the patient's schedule too, but I'd say anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks apart. You're not even really seeing your full results from your first session when we're coming back and retreating you. That's another question that we get, is how soon will we see results? I would say typically 3 months is kind of that sweet spot of the beginning that you start seeing that first session. So typically we do three sessions. So we're just still seeing those results each time that you come in for each treatment.
And then you're going to see your peak results anywhere from 6 months to a year from that first treatment.
So yeah, this is definitely not one of those that we tell people that you tiptoe in the water. We want you to jump all in. If somebody comes in and says, I just want to do 1 vial and try it out, that's not the best plan, because most of the time those people are going to be disappointed. Sculptra, we want you to do a complete session so that way you can get optimal results. So
if you have a question, feel free to add it in the chat box for us. Okay, we have a new question right here. What can I expect right after my treatment?
I would say the most common thing whenever you come in, we use a topical numbing cream on you. We inject the area that we're going to be treating that day. You look like you look restored. You look revolumized whenever you leave our office. There's always risk for bruising, so definitely plan accordingly for that. We try our best not to have that happen, but anytime we're putting injectables in the face, that's always a risk. And so when you leave, you're full of volume. And so the next day when you wake up, it's like that volume magically disappeared and you go, what happened? I just paid for this treatment. I looked amazing, but all the water that we mix the Sculptra with is reabsorbed. And so I tell people it's not like your traditional filler treatment where you're injected, you look great, you walk out of here. This is the best way we can say it's for the patient. You have to be patient with this treatment. It is not immediate gratification. So
I definitely agree with that. And I definitely think this is a treatment that it's kind of the Cinderella of injectables. It's kind of like no one really, not no one, but it's not talked about as much as fillers. You don't see the initial results. People don't know as much about it. So our job is really to educate you about it and educate you about the wonderful things that Sculptra can do. It's really for anyone. There's not one person who is a patient that wouldn't benefit from Sculptra.
Yeah, if I could get every single one of my patients to do Sculptra, it would make me a happy injector. We love it. The results are very natural. So if you're looking for long-term results with natural results, Sculptra is definitely is your way to go. So
it looks like we have a new question in the chat box. So the question is, with Sculptra, is early intervention ideal? I'm 37. Is it best to start now? And it is a treatment I would have done and how often? That is an amazing question. So 37 is definitely an age that early intervention would be wonderful. Someone in this age group, without assessing you, I would say I would recommend anywhere between 3 to 4 syringes, most likely 4. You would do that treatment the first year, and then we would recommend a treatment of 1 to 2 syringes per year, pretty much forever, if you can do it. I mean, it really is a great treatment. I plan on doing it as long as I possibly can. It's part of what is an ongoing, more focused towards regenerative medicine within the aesthetic window of treatment.
I hope that answered your question.
Okay, so if there's not any other questions, oh, you're welcome. Yes, we have another question. This is what I was getting to. So yes, the question is, what is the cost per syringe? So the cost per syringe is $800. For attending today, we have a special for you. The special is buy 3 and you get 1 free. And this is when you buy them together as a package of 4. And then you will also receive 1 free area of Dysport at the time of your first Sculptra treatment.
So we'll get rid of those frown lines for you, or some forehead lines as well. So,
and we have another question.
love technology.
Oh, the next question is, how much does it hurt? That's a good question.
Actually, surprisingly, I have a lot of people, when they have done regular hyaluronic acid type fillers and Sculptra, say Sculptra is so much easier. We mix lidocaine into the vial before we inject, and then we also do a topical numbing cream with it. So most people say it's pretty minimal, not any worse than doing any kind of other type of hyaluronic acid filler. So most people are pretty comfortable with it. I usually don't have, people are surprised of how easy it is. So
I will also use a cannula, which is a blunt tip needle in certain areas, and that makes it even more comfortable than a needle in those areas. And the areas that we typically treat would be the temples, where we see a lot of loss of volume with aging, the cheekbone, and then also the jaw is the most typical areas that we treat. And then we have another question. This is an off-labeled question, Shanda, so just close your ears. Where else can Sculptra be, or treatments happen? And the question has to do with microneedling and Sculptra. I think that microneedling with Sculptra is amazing. So when you talk about using Sculptra in the skin, you are doing a skin conditioning treatment. You're not going deep, so it's not going to do anything for the bone areas and creating structure, but it definitely is going to create a very beautiful glowy skin.
I think another area that women of a certain age, as we get older, that we are concerned about sometimes is our décolleté area and the crepiness. We wake up in the morning, and after you've slept, especially if you're a side sleeper and you have a little bit of those lines, it works really great in that area as well. So that's another common place that we can use it as well. You can do this with or without microneedling, but also sometimes you can use just Sculptra as a standalone as well. But it works really great when you do combination therapy. So yeah. Anything else?
I guess if you guys just want to remind the patients how to call and how you want them to, if they want to take advantage of the special.
For sure.
So in addition to, I know they already mentioned you're getting 1, sorry, this is Shanda again, my video is not working over here, but if you call, you do get the 1 free vial, so it's an $800 savings, and then you're also getting an area of Dysport for your forehead wrinkles, which is around $300 to $500 value. So it's a great deal today, and then the girls can tell you how to call and take advantage.
Yeah, you can certainly give us a call here at the office. Our phone number is 512-288-8200. And we're also offering, we'll be sending a follow-up email to all of you that attended today. So if there's any friends or family that you would like to share it with, we'll get that out to you here soon. Hopefully we recorded appropriately.
And just to let y'all know, Haley was unable to be with us. So if you're a patient of Haley's, all three of us are providing this treatment.
Thank you guys so much for
Yes,
attending
thank
today. And
you.
if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.